Fantastic, Ryan. Thank you for having us today. We have a wonderful day of some rival series matches, and I'm excited to get this started.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, we have a fantastic set of matches lined up for you guys, and we're going to go through those real quick. First up, we have Chaos Esports versus Mirage. That is going to be our game of the day, actually. And then we have Warriors International versus RBG Esports. And then finally, we're going to close out the day with Monkey Business versus Omni Nation. But we're going to go right back to the beginning. That is going to be Chaos Esports versus Mirage, the 3rd and 4th seeds currently in the standings. And we kind of talked about this before. And George, I'm going to kind of start with you on this, but what do you kind of think of this Chaos team? I mean, we looked at their schedule. It doesn't feel like they've really been challenged outside of Stromboli. Do you think that they're going to be able to come into this one and really give a good fight against Mirage? Or do you think they're just kind of a middle of the pack team?
Well, Ryan, I think it's a very good question to ask, especially because this Chaos team hasn't actually changed from last season, where they ended up in 4th after going through the promotion relegation tournament where they lost to both G2 and Cloud9. However, I don't know. I think this Chaos team is here to stay. I think they're an exceptional squad. I don't really see them dropping to this Mirage team. But on the other hand, we've seen Mirage come off a very strong Stromboli win, 3-2. And they were actually able to win off that series in the final 2 games, taking games 4 and 5. So it's going to be a very tough one. I do agree that this is going to challenge them, especially because we haven't seen them play many of the upper echelon teams here in the rival series. Some can argue that they've had a little bit of an easy time, but now things are starting to rev up for them.
Yeah, I gotta kind of agree with you. I mean, things are kind of starting to rev up for them here. But Sleegy, I want to kind of ask you though, Mirage, like George was saying, they took down the #1 seed in the whole season currently in Stromboli. And these guys, they've kind of been tested a bit more. They've had games against Omni Nation and Charlotte Phoenix. And granted, they lost both of those games, but they still had some challenges earlier on in the season compared to this Chaos team. Do you think that Mirage are going to be the better team coming out here? Or do you think, again, like George, that Chaos are going to bring them a bit more of a challenge?
I think Mirage is the better team that's coming out here. Like you said, they have played sort of these teams on the higher end. They are coming off that victory against Stromboli. So they're looking just so well right now. And while I think Chaos Esports is not just going to lie down and take it, it's going to be a back and forth. I really think Mirage is going to be some really stiff competition, especially with them trying to edge their way into the top 3 here.
Yeah, I think that Mirage, I mean, of course, when you take down the #1 team in the whole season, you're going to come out looking good. People are going to get kind of behind you. They're going to jump on that train. But those 2 losses they had against Charlotte Phoenix and Omni Nation, they were pretty solid losses, both resulting in clean 3-0 sweeps against them. So we're just going to have to kind of wait and see. But before we do that, I just have to know from you guys, like, what are some of y'all's predictions? George, what are you kind of thinking of this team right now?
This is a very tough decision. I think Mirage has what it takes. They're actually, out of all of their games, individual games that they've played, they're 7-9 when they score first. However, they're 2-4 when they've reached overtime. I just don't think that's going to cut it against this Chaos Esports team. I think they're going to bring the aggression early on. I'm going to have to give this to Chaos, but it's going to be very close. I think they're going to bring it to Game 5. It'll be a 3-2 win for Chaos.
All right, and what do you think, Sleegy?
You know, I think I'm going to have to take a little bit of a different look. I like what I've seen from Mirage so far this season, and I know that Chaos is going to be a bigger fight, but I really think Mirage, we're going to see them sort of evolve here, especially at this midway point of the season. And I actually think that they end up making a sort of a statement victory here, taking it in 4 and really trying to cement themselves as we move towards this latter end of the season.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to side with Sleegy on this one. I mean, I know you. I see you shaking your head, George, but I just have to go with these guys because again, they have shown that they can take down teams that are above them in the standings, and I just still have yet to see that from Chaos. So I'm looking to Chaos today to kind of prove me wrong here and start showing us that they have what it takes to actually stand head and shoulders with these top tier teams rather than just taking these wins off to the lower teams. Because right now, I don't know if they're a middle of the pack team or if they're a top level team. But guys, if you want to know what you guys think at home, if you want to vote, let us know. You can do !MIG for Mirage, and you can do !CHS for Chaos Esports. And then guys, also be sure to follow us at Rival Esports GG and tweet us using the hashtag Rivals so we can get some of that information from you guys and get some more of your picks. But guys, that's enough for me. I'm gonna hand it off to y'all. Take it away.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ryan.
But you know, I really am, George, excited to get into this game. You know, with how we've been talking about it, both of these teams really are looking good. And I think that especially with this being our game of the day, we're going to see some really high level Rocket League coming out of this, regardless of actually who ends up taking the win here.
I agree. I believe this series is going to go to game 5. It's just so close. And I think we were talking about it a little bit earlier on before the stream started. This is one of the closest seasons of the Rival series so far. Everyone is still in it, per se. You could be at the bottom of the bracket like RBG and still have a shot of getting through to the middle of the pack. Might be a little bit of a stretch to get into that first place spot, but you can still retain your spot in the Rival series if they, I don't believe they have to win out per se, but win at least most of their remaining matches. So again, it's hard to really see what's going to happen. We're surprised with new things every week, and I think we're very lucky to see this level of play here.
No, we really are. Like, I agree wholeheartedly. So far throughout this season in Rival, it has been so close throughout most of these games. And, you know, trying to look ahead and trying to predict who's going to come away with what is one thing. But then when actually getting on the field and seeing, like you mentioned, just the incredibly close level of play that we've seen all season long, these teams are leaving nothing behind. I'm just excited as we get closer to the end of the season to see who starts to emerge as those top teams, who's able to clinch that #1 spot and going into next season, and then who's going to actually be the teams that we'll be seeing in the promotion tournament.
Yeah, and we thought that everyone kind of figured out what was going to happen with the rest of the season. Just a couple weeks ago, we were all thinking, oh, Stromboli is going to take this. But now we're looking at Omni Nation as the only team left that's undefeated. So, again, there's still so many matches left to play in this season. It's so hard to tell as we're just getting ready here to start this matchup. I'm taking a look at the predictions from our wonderful chat. They're actually predicting, they're siding with me on this one, Brett. So they're picking Chaos 59% to Mirage 41. So I'm going to let that just sink in for you and Ryan to talk about after the series ends, of course.
No, absolutely. I'm curious to see how it ends up working out. It seems like we're pretty well split on who everyone thinks is going to win this game. That's always, you know, good to see. You don't want the games where you kind of go in and everybody assumes who's going to win, have their own sort of appeal, but these such close ones where it really comes down to the wire are what really interests me the most. And, you know, I hope it goes to game 5. I know I predicted a game 4, but I would love to see this game go to game 5 and just be proven wrong. I want to see just solid Rocket League out there on the field.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a good one here. And actually, fun little note here, Luke is being subbed out for Trey for this series. So we're going to see if that changes anything for Mirage. Maybe they'll play slightly different play style. But I think we're still going to get a great match. I'm just ready to go. This is going to be great.
Yeah, me too. We're just a couple of moments away from getting into the opening of today. Chaos taking on Mirage. We've been talking a lot about it. We've been speculating a lot about it. And now, like we said, just moments away from seeing what actually happens down there on the field. And what a great series as well to start us off for today. I know we've got 2 more fantastic ones lined up, but I really think this is going to be the cream of the crop for us today.
Yeah, and again, like it's hard to pick the game of the day. We have 3 fantastic matchups, and it's almost like, oh, we only have 3 matches, but this is going to just be a full day of Rocket League. I'm just ready to get into it.
Same here. And with that as well, you know, like you said, with that sub coming in, subs have been playing a really impactful part so far this season. So I'm not going to necessarily count that out. We've seen some interesting things happen out of subs because, you know, when you're the team playing against it, you might not have had as much time to prepare for it or really read up or get yourselves mentally set so it can give itself an edge leading into a game like this.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see what happens. We have all of our players ready to go. I think our chat's been waiting long enough. Let's get this one started. Let's get our players in. Let's put a fresh 5 minutes on the clock here, and we're going to get this day of Rival Series action started.
And it looks like they're going to be taking the field now. There they are. So time is up for analysis. Now it's time to see the players take it on the field with the opening match. I'm ready for this, George.
Me too. Let's get this, Brett.
All right, well, we're going to start with the kickoff. One right away by Mirage. Good early pressure. And we're seeing it start off a little bit slow, actually. Taroko not able to find that touch. It's a pass in midfield. Trey was there, but just a bit over the bar. Early opportunity for Mirage there.
Yeah, we're going to see what they can do off those kickoffs. But again, I think the level of play here, we're going to have to see a lot of team plays, a lot of build-up for these teams to try to capitalize. Let's see what they can go on here.
Well, it's going to be put onto that right side. Corrupted G going to try and drop it down, but a good block coming through Trey now. Not going to be able to get there in time, but Freshness will just send a clear downfield. He's going to pop back in the blue half. Russ is up. That's a shot near, but it's just high. Corrupted G looking to send that back downfield again. Not a whole lot of possession so far for Chaos. It's been Mirage doing a lot of pressure downfield, but as time moves on, Chaos starting to get some more looks in the orange half.
We're going to have to see here just a minute into this game. Game one, a little bit of a feeler game here, trying to see what these teams are going to be able to do, see if they can adapt early on, take this first game win here, and start to build up some of that offense. As Trey has an opportunity, gets blocked, stuffed in the midfield. And yeah, you're right, Chaos Esports trying to get out of their own half. They've shown some signs of offensive pressure, but nothing too built up quite yet.
Well, Trey looking to get something moving downfield. Russ actually singing that back out. It's Trey with a shot, but Corrupted reads that so well. They're not out of danger yet, though. Freshness trying to maintain pressure in this half. Taroko not getting that past Trey. That's going to be a pass back that's intercepted by Mektos, and so we'll see what Chaos can do on the counterattack on target. Trey somehow finds the touch to keep it away, and we remain scoreless in game one.
Yeah, and this is just a game of chess right here between these two teams, both playing very well on their defense. No one's giving up any rotations quite yet. No one's taking a risk. But we're going to see as this keeps on going, as J-Russ trying to bring this one downtown. He's going to meet Corrupted G, but he can't stop Joe as this Mirage offense starting to take some light.
It's going to be a 50-50 there. Corrupted should have it. He does. He's going to start trying to move that down this right side. Freshness finds a slight touch. It sends it back out the midfield, but Mektos, what a block from Trey. Able to read that touch so well. Corrupted over to Mektos, but he can't find a touch. Another open opportunity as we cross over into the second half. Trey gonna look to push it downfield now because able to get it past Corrupted G. It's a pitch in, and Freshness gonna get us started. First goal.
And you can see Trey bringing this one downfield. He saw Freshness out of the corner of his eye. They bring it together. Mektos couldn't do anything about it. And Mirage take the lead here. And again, this is the team. They're 7-9. Out of all their wins, they've scored first. So just a fun little fact right there. Let's see if they can hold that up.
Well, they've got another opportunity developing right here. Trey trying to get that into J-Russ, but he gets demoed. He's going to respawn now and go up for this out of his own corner. That's a clear. Corrupted, not able to find it. Trey putting that on target, but Taroko right where he needed to be to intercept. And will be Freshness again. And what I'm noticing a lot of right now out of this Mirage team is they're getting it downfield. They're getting solid looks, but it feels like if they could keep the ball a little bit closer, they might be opening themselves up to some more opportunities. I feel like they're giving it away a lot right now.
And they have to be careful against this Chaos team because this is a team that can capitalize on those mistakes, and we've seen them score a lot of transition plays here in the Rival Series. So you don't want to give any sort of edge like that.
Well, this is a good pass from Freshman. It's actually on target, forces Taroko to go up for it. It'll be coming back down for Corrupted G, who has to get it past J. Russ. He does. Mekto's there, but a good block from Freshness to keep it out. 70 seconds left in this game. Chaos has had a couple opportunities open up. That one right there. And Corrupted somehow finds that read off the post to get things back level.
Not only off the post, but off the ceiling as well. Corrupted G, are you kidding me? Excellent shot, tying this one up with just over a minute left in game one. This is a good series.
Oh, and it could be quickly back for Mirage. Taroko struggling to get a hold on it, sitting right there in front, but 1 minute remaining. And, you know, Mirage, they get a good team goal to put themselves in the lead, but Chaos relying on the solo plays to get themselves back level. And that might breathe a bit of life into them as Mirage sending it downfield again, Corrupted having to stretch for it. And we'll see what they can accomplish on this counter. It's not a lot. Trey almost had an excellent look on goal, just couldn't get there in time. 30 seconds remaining. Freshness trying to put pressure where he can. No one on Mirage challenging that ball at the moment. Will be Trey trying to drop it down for J. Russ. Freshness to send it downfield again. He's only got one to beat, but he gets there. Mektos with a quick follow-up. It's on target as well, but J. Russ again coming through. Final 10 seconds. Let's see if one of these teams can find the goal to avoid overtime. Corrupted G has a chance here. He's just got to keep it up. He does, but no one there to capitalize, and we will see overtime in game one.
And here is where overtime favors Chaos. They're 4-6 this season in overtime, going up against Mirage. They're 2-4. So just slight edge here in favor of the more experienced Rival Series squad. Let's see if it'll help them out.
Well, it's offense for Mirage right now. Is Trey able to get it past one excellent pass to J-Russ, but not able to get there in time again. Will be Trey looking to knock it down off the ceiling, but Mektos, quick follow through. It's a bit of a ping pong happening right now in midfield with both teams just struggling to maintain possession. Could be an opportunity. That's actually going to come right back down again. Taroko looking to try and get a touch. He gets the flip reset, but not enough to get it through on goal.
Yeah, and slight hesitation there from the rest of that Chaos offense. No one was helping them out there. And that's an opportunity you can't let go to waste. That was a perfectly placed pass, but no one from Chaos there to capitalize.
Well, 1 minute gone in this overtime, and Chaos has had a couple of really good opportunities come their way. Mirage now being the team who's having to struggle to get things out of their own half. Corrupted G getting that out to Mektos, will find the touch. It's off the ceiling. Looked like it was on target. J-Russ gets credited with the save. Solid effort on that opportunity. But now Mirage really quick on the counter. Freshness with the follow-up, but it's right into the arms of Mektos. He's able to keep that out.
And this is where you can't get complacent if you're Chaos. Yes, you're playing so much offense right now, but you got to be wary of this Mirage team that can easily flip the script on you and score. And then all that effort will just be for nothing. And we're going to see if J. Russ here has anything to say about that. He's got full boots in the tank. Can he get it past Taroko? Here's Freshness. Could not be Corrupted G, though, as he sends that one downtown.
They just needed a little bit more power off the backboard to be able to get it out in time. And it really feels like now both teams firing on all cylinders. That's actually coming really close. Taroko looking to close it down, but Freshness stays in the way. Corrupted G's there. It's going to be Trey. Oh, but they close it down together. Double commit on the side of Mirage. Fortunately for them, Chaos doesn't really respond with anything threatening, but they've got to be careful they don't continue to cross signals like that.
Yeah, and scary situation. Taroko missing that ball. Lucky for him, no one on Mirage was there to hit that one away. That could have easily been the end of this game. Instead, we're 2.5 minutes into overtime.
Yeah, it's almost an entire other game in and of itself here. It's been a completely different story for Chaos. It felt like in the first part of regulation, they weren't doing super hot on getting there in time, but they warmed up, and now both of these teams just struggling to find cracks in each other's defense to send it downfield and in the net. This is going to be an incredible, whoever is able to get the win here is going to have so much momentum, because when you lose long overtimes like this, it becomes difficult moving forward because you spend so much time. Wow. Almost a goal there from Trey, but Taroko somehow gets in the way.
And Mirage are still on the offensive opportunity here. Can J-Russ get the flick? He can, no, unable to keep it alive as Trey keeps it in. Here comes Freshness off the backboard. Is anyone up? Taroko hitting that away, and the Mirage offense is heating up.
It's Mektos getting the clear over to Taroko. That gets past Freshness. It'll be Mektos again, back to Taroko. Some struggle to find possession here as J-Russ looking to drop it down. That's a good clear from Corrupted. Taroko is there, but Freshness able to stick with it, closing in on 4 minutes of overtime now. Things starting to get very dangerous in this game as Taroko trying again to get a clear downfield, but neither team is giving up any space right now.
Yeah, and both these teams just a couple of shots around the 10 goal. Wow. That's not the sense I was trying to build. But anyways, Ryan had a great point. This is the match of the day, and no way could we have predicted this already. Fantastic play from both teams. Who's going to take this?
At this point, it's anyone's game. It's going to be whoever makes the first mistake. We get farther and farther into this trade. Not going to be able to get that past Taroko. That's on target. What? No one's going to be able to get back in time. And after all of that, George, this is what ends the game.
That's so unfortunate. J-Russ hoping to get some boosts on the corner there, and I don't know what to say. That's just so unfortunate. But Chaos Esports, they're going to take it. And that's really heartbreaking for Mirage because they were bringing it back. That first half of that overtime was all chaos. They were putting so much pressure, and then Mirage started to reel back control. And then just a mistake in the center of the field just costs them the game. This is a wild series.
Absolutely. What a way to start it off. An entire game essentially played in overtime. And it was like I sort of said, it was going to come down to whoever made the first mistake, and just a slight miscalculation on how quickly they needed to get back on the rotation ends up costing the Mirage the game in a 10-minute run of play as well. That I'm curious to see how they're going to bounce back from that going into game 2, because they played so well throughout that.
It's almost like it didn't really feel like a mistake was made, but we know it was. it's just somehow the ball just decided, I'm going to go roll into the net at the worst timing ever for Mirage. And yeah, we're going to see if they can build up momentum again. Chaos, though, are sitting comfortably with a 1-game advantage here in this best of 5. And I mean, Brett, we can talk about my prediction all we want, but I think it might be a little too early. This is the game of the day, the match of the day, and it's really proving itself to be.
I mean, it really is. We expected to come out and have action straight out of the gate. That's exactly what we've seen so far. I mean, how often do you see a 5-minute overtime where it's that close throughout? They're not super common, and it just shows how close both of these teams are in terms of skill to each other right now.
Yeah, and actually something that Ryan wanted us to talk about was how important the subs have been this season. He's been saying, he told us subs have been killing it this season. Don't count him out. I think Trey's been playing fantastic this game. He's had some great opportunities, and he even had a fantastic 1-2 punch. I believe it was with J-Russ last game. So, doing a great job. Unfortunate for Luke, unable to play in this series. But regardless of that, things are going pretty well for Mirage, even though they lost game 1.
No, I would say so. Now's their opportunity to really get back into this series. They need to try and get a win here in this game. We'll see how it works out with them. 5 minutes back on the clock here on Neo Tokyo. And it's going to be sent across field by Corrupted. Gee, I think he put a bit too much power on that. He gets a double demo. Mektos there to finish it off. And what a statement to start game 2.
Yeah, seriously, look at this play. Just able to just take him right out of that defense. Mektos basically giving the goal on a silver platter, just drives it right in. And we're only a couple of seconds into game 2 here, but Chaos, you're right, starting with a statement.
What a play. Just getting the entire defense out of your way. Just the awareness for Corrupted G to go for that solid goal to start things off, but still plenty of time for Mirage to try and claw their way back. It's Chaos, though, showing a lot of attacking pressure right now as Trey will eventually get it downfield. Taroko with possession is going to get a pass off to Mektos. Good cut down from Freshness, though, but it's not out of their half yet. J-Rust will eventually find the clear to send it away. He's going to take a shot off the sidewall. Just a bit high, but opportunities beginning to open up for Mirage now.
Mirage opportunities. Let's see if J-Rust can get something here. He's juggling that ball on top of the Chaos net, but nothing substantiated from that. We're going to see if they can keep this on the blue half, though. Big demo from Freshness. Let's see if Trey can get this one around the corner. He's playing with his food. He's in front of the net, but nothing. No dice.
Ooh, and that was a bit far forward there for J-Rust to be positioned. Fortunate that no one was chasing that down quicker. We're going to be careful again. I know they need to push up field to find space in the final third, but they can't be so aggressive that they leave open space. Taroko makes his own space, however, with a beautiful air dribble into a double touch off the backboard.
And I just got to ask, where was the defense? They gave him so much time. Freshness and the net there just jumped way too late. And I'm not saying he didn't work for that goal there. But man, you gotta make them work for that. That was too easy.
And Mirage again, just a bit slow getting back on defense, and it ends up costing them. They've got to be careful they don't start to let this game get away from them. It's been 2 quick goals from Chaos in this game, and they look like they're going to continue to try and just pound in the pressure here. Mirage has got to do something different to start getting the ball downfield and opening up their own opportunities. That's going to be a clear from Corrupted G. It's going to fall back down to Mektos again, who's looking for a double touch. That one's not going to go in, though. Good block from Mirage, and now they've got an opportunity on this counterattack. Will be Corrupted G, but Taroko actually getting a touch. They're able to recover from that slight mistake well. Could be an opportunity for Freshness. He gets one flick over Mektos, but Taroko not letting him get it past him. We're seeing a fight for possession happening right now between these two teams.
Yeah, and we're seeing some one-on-one opportunities, some solo plays starting to vitalize here for Mirage, but that's not going to really bake the cake for them. They gotta start getting these team plays going. When they get those passes, they are a dangerous team. But you're not going to get past this Chaos defense just by bringing the ball down the field by yourself, unless you're Joe. But he ultimately missed the shot right there.
And wow, that feels like such a missed opportunity for Mirage. Like right as you're saying, you're not going to be able to get it past it. They somehow find their way through, and I think not even they were expecting that because they couldn't follow through with the goal. Chaos essentially getting away with one there. Taroko again looking to find a double touch. It's going to be J-Rust, but Corrupted G not going to let that get past. Good save, especially with how he was positioned. Not the easiest save to make. And time now beginning to become a major factor in this game. Mirage has got to try and find something very soon.
And I wanted to take a note of Mirage and how they had such great momentum from the last overtime, and then everything just kind of whittled away with the loss. And you can't let that get to your head. You cannot let Chaos get a 2-game lead in this series, early on especially, because now they're looking at reverse sweep territory if they drop it.
Well, that was a good cut from Corrupted G to get that on target as well. Time still running out. Every second passing makes this a much more dire situation for Mirage. J-Rust has an opportunity. It's still right there in front. No one from Mirage in the zip code to be able to respond. And it's just solid defense coming out of Chaos right now as Corrupted G finds another save to clear it away. It just feels as though Chaos can do nothing wrong this game.
Yeah, well, they're essentially just parking the bus at this point. They have almost no time left here in Game 2. They just cannot allow 2 miracle goals in the last 10 seconds here, and then they got a 2-game lead here in the series. So not much for them to do here. A lot of work, though, for Mirage going into Game 3. They can't drop any more here. They got to get a reverse sweep as Taroko going out of his way.
bullies his way into goal here to finish it off 3-0. Good follow-up, though, to get it through. And, you know, I agree with you, Mirage. They've got a lot of work to do. They looked really good in that game one, but I think that overtime might have gotten to them a bit because Chaos came into this game swinging, and it just felt like Mirage was never really able to build up any sort of momentum. They fell flat in the opportunities that were coming their way, and now, especially facing down a series point, they've got to pull themselves together here.
This is going to be tough for them. I mean, reverse sweep's not out of the realm of possibilities. The Mirage team, of course, they had to win their final 2 against Stromboli to take the series. So why not the final 3 against Chaos? They definitely have it, or they have the opportunity to do so. And they have the skills and the teamwork to make it happen. They have to coalesce it all together here. I'm very interested to see if they're going to change anything about their play style. I think they've been playing okay, but you can just see the complete different energy coming from Chaos, a different speed, a different tempo. They're highly coordinated, and their defense was just unstoppable in this game. I think that this is a team that they clearly made some micro adjustments from game 1 to avoid the overtime, of course, and to heavily take game 2. Let's see if Chaos is going to keep on pushing forward, or if Mirage will be able to start to bring this one back.
Yeah, well, you know, Chaos, they have all the momentum on their side right now. They've just got to try and keep it. They started off that game, too, with a fantastic demo play to open up their goal. So we'll see if they can get an early goal again here. 5 more minutes on the board, and it is now do or die time for Mirage as Trey finds an initial shot. But it'll be Corrupted G to send it away off the corner. J. Russ doesn't find that touch. Taroko's going to be there, and that's going to be one of the easiest goals of his career.
Actually, let's take a look at this one, see how easy this was made. We see Russ going off of the back wall. It's just unfortunate. I was unable to make contact. If he was able to hit that one, I think he would have cleared that one completely away from the offense. It would have been a completely different scenario played out. But Chaos Esports striking first here. And let's see if they can hold this one up. And Brett here, this is where you have to be a little bit concerned if you're Mirage, because the floodgates are just open. It's the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to be in a position where 30 seconds in, the death timer has already truly begun. They have got to make a change here. It feels like they're just scrambling to find any sort of touch on the ball. See if they can pick it up. J-Russ almost able to get that over Mektos. The slight touch, putting it away. It's a good pass over to Trey, but Taroko there to come through with the block. And the Chaos defense sticking strong. J-Russ looking for another, but doesn't have the boost to really follow that through. Trey with another opportunity here. Looks for the ground pinch, but it's blocked away yet again. J-Russ, that could be an opportunity, but he can't find the angle he needs. It was going to be tight to try and squeeze past, but eventually Chaos able to just push it away.
Yeah, and right here, Mirage, they're having a fantastic offensive rally right now. However, those opportunities, they don't come often. You have to put that one on net, especially from that range.
Well, this is the range where we really started to see Chaos thrive. Mektos looking for a double touch again on the backboard. He gets bumped away from it. Taroko getting a bump of his own as Corrupted G looks to get that back in midfield again. Double demo happening at midfield, so it's a 2v2. Freshness, nah, man, it just feels like there's not enough power on these touches from Mirage. I feel like they're coming through and they're just worried about their positioning, and that's giving Chaos all the time they need to be able to adapt and react to these situations as they come up.
Well, I think that's in part because of Chaos just controlling the tempo here. If you're Mirage, you don't want to make any single mistake here, or else you're going to have a very long game 3 trying to juggle back from a 2-goal lead instead, or deficit, sorry. Instead, they have to worry about just this Chaos team just completely shattering their defense. Look at these plays coming out. They're not scoring, but there's just so much pressure.
Yeah, Trey manages to get the slightest of touch. I was watching that develop. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to find it, but it does. That's good for them. It keeps them within one. A 1-goal game is manageable at this point. 2 goals start to get away from them. Freshness has an opportunity. He gets the double, but Taroko shutting it down, gets the block, and this Chaos defense has been stout throughout these past 2 games, and Mirage try as they might to, with each opportunity that's coming their way, they just can't break through.
Well, yeah, these solo plays are just not going to work out for Mirage. This defense here from Chaos is not your standard team here. You're in the rival series. You got to be more creative than that. I want to see some team plays coming out from this Mirage squad, because we're just seeing balls hit off that backboard. Nothing really spectacular. Nothing that makes the defense question whether its positioning is correct or not. And I think that's what's really troubling them on offense.
Well, they've got about 1:20 left to fix those troubles they have. That's another good pass coming through. Again, not able to get followed up. Mektos trying to just get it away to maintain control, but that ends up following the J-Russ. Doesn't find a good touch himself. It'll be Corrupted G trying to take it out of his own corner. Is able to get it past one. Mektos challenging. He doesn't find the ball, but 60 seconds now. It's still a 1-goal game. Mirage still has a chance, but they haven't had too many opportunities come their way, and when they haven't been able to execute. It's going to have to be a change that comes out right now, because each passing second gets them closer and closer to getting swept in this series, and Sirocco almost putting a nail in the coffin there.
Yeah, and we see Mirage, they're getting this ball on the blue half quite often enough, but I just don't see the pressure coming through. It just looks like Chaos is just unstoppable. As Mektos, the pass from Sirocco on the transition play, and this is what makes them so deadly.
I mean, they're just so quick on getting those passes off. It just feels like they drew it up, honestly. They knew that that was going to be a position based on how the attack progressed. They were able to follow through well, and now a 2-goal lead, much more difficult. Mektos tried to get some style points here at the end of this game, but it really just, I don't see Chaos giving up 2 goals in the final 15 seconds, especially with just how calculated they've been throughout these past 2. They've looked so good, and that could be another saved away, but at this point, it doesn't really matter.
It's not over till it's over, but Chaos really fought tooth and nail for this series and just completely took out this Mirage defense. I'm just almost shocked in a way, just from how game one was played, completely different to these last 2 games in this series. Just Chaos really stepped up.
I mean, I really wasn't expecting that, as is, you can tell by my obviously hyper incorrect prediction before coming into this game. I really thought Mirage was going to be able to bring more of a fight. And like you said, they looked really good in that game 1, but I don't really think it was a change that they made. I think it was Chaos getting warmed up, getting in their groove, and then finding their stride. Because once they did, it was just gone from there.
It was rough, but actually there's one guy whose opinion I really want to hear, and that's Ryan. Ryan, talk to us a little bit about this series, because man, this really went, I guess, nowhere we thought it would go.
No, I mean, I think that this series went a very different direction from what we were expecting. And this is now the 3rd shutout that Mirage have suffered this season. And just one of the main things that I noticed was just the fact that Mirage, when they were in the offense, they looked really good. They had a lot of pressure behind them. However, they were extremely slow on that transition back into the defense. And when you have those 2 factors coming in together, it is just a recipe for disaster. But I kind of want to get a little bit more insight from you guys, being that y'all were the ones who were commentating that whole game. And Sleegy, I'm going to start with you. What are some things that you feel the Mirage could have done differently here?
Well, you know, at multiple points throughout that game, I was thinking to myself, it feels like they're worried. It feels like they're going for touches, not with intent, but just with concern of how Chaos was going to respond. And I think that allowed Chaos, like George mentioned several times, to control the pace of the game. For Mirage moving forward, they've really got to try and just start taking control of their game plan, of their play style, and playing how they do instead of reacting against the other team, because Chaos, every time we saw them, was able to adapt so well. It just wasn't the same for Mirage in that series.
No, you're exactly right. And I mean, again, Chaos, it did feel like they had control constantly throughout that whole series. And George, kind of go on the opposite side, what did Chaos do really well here to you? I mean, we kind of talked about it already with Sleegy, but I mean, what are some things you'd like to see from this team moving forward? Because they have a couple of other high-tier teams that they still have to face off this season.
I think they should keep playing their same game plan. I really did enjoy their style of offense where they really fed off of the other team's mistakes. And we can see that in a couple of the transition goals they were able to score in this series and really just take advantage of all the chances that Mirage gave them. It was more of a match where Mirage's mistakes played into Chaos's favor. And that was, unfortunately for Chaos, how they're able to take this series with ease. I think moving forward, if they're able to keep on playing this play style where they're able to control the tempo and I guess keep on doing their thing on defense, like their defense was impeccable this series. I mean, sans game 1, of course, where things were really close and went to overtime. But even in overtime, they did a fantastic job as well. So I think Chaos moving forward are in a very good spot. They improved to 4-1. And I think there's little to doubt now that they belong in the top teams here in the Rivals series for this season.
Right, you are. I don't think that we can really doubt it too much now. Now we're seeing their second challenge this season. They stepped up to the plate and they crushed it, kicked it straight out of the park. They did fantastic. There's no two ways about it. Chaos Esports taking the 3-0 sweep over Mirage, who just recently took down Stromboli, the #1 placement in the season so far. So congratulations to them, guys. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with Warriors International versus RBG Esports. But before we go, be sure to go check us out on our Discord. Do !Discord there in chat, and you can go join in on the conversation over there. Guys, we'll be right back. Stick around for more Rival Series action.